Welcome to Triple B for this week. We're going to start on all fours. Come on down to all fours. Place the hands right underneath the shoulders and knees right underneath the hips. And start with your cat and cow movement. Move the spine up and down. Just stepping into the body, stepping into attention and awareness for this practice. This week, thinking about the mantra, be imperfect, settling into self-compassion. That might mean doing one less set of the exercises. It might mean a little lighter weight than you had thought. And it also means congratulating yourself for this time coming to the mat in movement and in awareness of the body. One more here for cat and cow. And take the right arm underneath the left and twisted child's pose with the hips lifted. Shoulder, ear, side of the face down. Reach your left arm out long in front. Pull the hips back so they feel pretty square. And then come all the way back up to all fours. Set for a moment, take a breath. And we do this to the other side. Left arm under the right. Reach the right arm out in front. The first time we pick up the weights today should be your heaviest set of weights that we'll use throughout the class. And then from there, you'll mostly use a lighter set. Bring the right hand back beside your face and come up to all fours. Stretch to downward facing dog. Tuck the toes, lift the hips. Pedal out the feet. Shake out your head a little bit. Come forward to plank pose. In this plank hold, squeeze the heels in and then squeeze your glutes. Lengthen the tailbone, tone the abdomen. Look a little forward rather than straight down and hold. Feel free to breathe out through the mouth each time, in through the nose. You're here at the top of the plank. Grip the earth underneath the finger pads. Press down through your thumb and your first finger a good amount. Hold it for 5 more seconds. And switch to downward facing dog. Nicely done. Step the right foot all the way through into a big lunge and right arm up to the sky. Just really taking a bit of extra time today to warm up the body. Step it all the way back to downward facing dog. And do so on the second side. Left foot forward into your low lunge. Keep the right hand down, lift the left arm up into the twist as you're ready. Lower the left hand down, step all the way back. Walk your hands backwards to the feet, so it's that deep bend in the knees that we know, to walk it on back. As you lift up, arms out to the side and up, and out to the side and down. Into our triple B sun salutations, walk the hands back out to your downward facing dog. Add the twisted down dog. Right hand grabs the left side. Set it down. Left hand grabs the right side. Set it down. Come forward to plank. 8 mountain climbers. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step your feet forward on either side of the hands. Stand all the way up. 4 body weight squats, down and up. Try to find your full deep range of motion here. Squeeze the hips, push forward at the top. Step back into plank position. 2 downward facing dog. Hands walk to your feet. Stand up, arms out to the side and up. And keep going out to the side and down. Walk forward to downward facing dog. Twisted down dog. Right hand grabs the left side, sets down. Left hand, right side, set down. Forward to your plank. 8 mountain climbers. Can add a little hop in your step if you'd like. Keep the legs moving. Step or jump forward. Stand up. 4 body weight squats here. Nice and low, full range of motion. Go at your speed. And then place the hands back down to step back. Down dog. Hands to the feet. Whole thing one more time. Stand up and fly back down. Walk it out. Down dog with the twist. Into your mountain climbers. Body weight squats. Breathe out every time you stand up in that squat. We always want to exhale on the hardest part of the position. Go back into plank, back into down dog. And that nice agility to walk it back, hands to your feet. Stand up, arms to the sky. Good, as you release your arms down here, take a stance as wide as your yoga mat and twist here. It can be slow. We're trying to get in good amount of movement in the upper body. Twist. Stay to your center. Take your arms like goalposts or goddess and try to make your knees touch your elbows. Big high lift. Warming up through the hips as well. And then hip circles out and around. Switch your hip circle so the leg will go to the inside instead of to the outside. 2 more here, just 1 more each side. Nicely done. Lift the arms all the way up, get as tall as you can, but then look forward. Make your thumbs touch, palms towards the front of the room. And then grow 1/2 an inch taller. Press down into your feet. Nice squeeze in those glutes. Big breath. Exhale. Release it all out. All right, whatever the heaviest set of dumbbells is that you pulled out today, that's what we're going to use first. This first exercise with the weights is meant to continue warming up the whole body. Watch me first. It's a combination of a deadlift. So we come into the deadlift with the weights about lower legs, just above the ankles. Have a slight bend in your knees. And then you stand up in one swift motion. It changes to a shoulder rack as you squat. And then on the stand up, shoulder press. We rack it back down safely, and it all starts over again. Join me now. Deadlift into your shoulder rack and squat. Stand up, shoulder press. Rack down. We're not trying to go fast here. Deadlift, hamstrings, glutes, good morning to them. Rack and squat. Clean press. Rack it down. Keep going, nice and steady like this. Always a little bend behind the knees there. In the deadlift, full arms overhead. You can always take out the shoulder press overhead. If shoulders are not with you today, you stand and keep the rack. Today is mostly focused on upper body. Obviously here, we get a little bit of everything involved to make sure it feels like a full body workout. Rack it down. Do 2 more here, and then we'll take a little pause. Nice and low in that squat each time. Good, keep going 1 more time, focusing on your form and function. Stand up, chest high. Excellent, set the weights down. Give yourself just a little bit to open and close the hands, getting used to that grip today. Take a little drink of water. We're gonna do 3 sets of that complex movement before we move along. So exact same thing. When you're ready, pick up the weights. We'll go for it again. I'm gonna ask us for just a slight bit more speed here. So you go into the deadlift, stand right into the squat, and stand and press. Good, all the way down. Deadlift, and up, squat, and stand. All the way down. Start it over. See how each is really a separate movement. Not trying specifically to add them together. Deadlift, into the squat shoulder rack, into the shoulder press, and down. Start again. Looking good here. Chest stays up. Focus forward the entire time. Even in the deadlift, you have a little gaze forward and lift. Shoulder rack as you squat and press. 2 more right here. And you can think of each as its own explosive movement. So the lowering down in the deadlift, and then it's 1 quick lift. It's quick to take the squat, quick to take the press. Good, let's get 1 more for good measure here. Down and up, squat and rack, shoulder press. Lovely, set the weights down. Give yourself a few breaths. Again, shake out the hands a bit. This is a great one if you ever have an opportunity with a larger set of weights to really work into your pyramid. Start with something like 10 pounds, go to 15, go to 20, see how you progress. When I'm doing those heavier weight sets, I'm often using a pyramid of like 10, and then 8, and then 6, or to fail for the last set. We're working it as a bit of a full warm-up today. Pick up the weights again into your deadlift, into your squat, and shoulder raise. Feet hip distance or even a little bit wider apart to accommodate all of it. Toes, knees staying straight ahead. Try not to turn out, especially in that deadlift. Remember, if possible, to rack at the same time to the shoulders as you go into that squat. So you swing and squat, and then lift and press. That's it. Keep it going. No need to stay exactly with me in my timing here. You've got 2 more. Really nicely done. Last one. And carefully set the weights down. Little shake out through everything. For the next, you'll definitely want to go a little lighter to start with if you have that option. I'm using a 5. If I had a 2 or a 3 pound set, I might even use that. It's a rear delt fly or shoulder fly. You come like you would in chair pose, little bend in the knees, sit into the thighs with chest a bit forward, dumbbells together right out in front of you, and then lift arms as almost straight out to the side, and they come down. So a little bend in the elbows, okay? And we're really trying to get this. Join me when you're ready. Delt fly, just as it sounds, deltoids. The movement of the shoulders on and off your back, if you will. And we've got to lean forward enough in the chest, though you're still looking forward of the mat, to make sure this work comes into shoulders, shoulder blades, not having to pull only at arms or chest. Out to the side and down. You can count like 1, 2, and lower 2. Out, 2, lower 2. If you're like me, you're feeling those legs after all of the complex squat work that we just did. 1 more here. Out and in. Stand up, set down your weights. Plenty of breath work in between here. Just push it out through the mouth. Get the little sips of water, all of the things. Complete this full exercise before we move on as well. Okay, pick it back up. This one also works really nicely with no weights at all, and really finding that awareness of how the shoulders, shoulder joints, shoulder blades are moving on the back. Here we are, out for 2, in for 2. Good, out for 2, in for 2. Try not to look up, but just a little bit forward. Strengthening the upper back in particular throughout this month. Nicely done, friends. Keep going with the movement and breath together. Nice bend in the knees. Sit low into the legs, chest pretty far forward. 1 more here. And then safely set it down. I will mention that another nice option, if you have a good seat nearby, to do the same thing is to be seated, hands out in front. And then you're really taking the legs out of the equation And fully being able to focus on the shoulders and still pick up that slightly heavier set of weights. We'll get all the way prone onto our belly in a moment and do this work, which also gives us a little bit more centering. Okay, last round. Again, deepen the legs, feet about hip distance apart, toes straight ahead. You're pretty far forward in the torso. You're still looking a little forward, but not up, so not straining the chin, not straining the neck. And here we go, out to the fly and down, out and down. Try to go towards shoulder height with as long of a wingspan as possible. Exhale on the hardest end. So exhale as you lift. That little draw in at the navel each time you lift and exhale out. 2 more here. Out and in. Last one, out and set down the weights. Next set of exercises, hands can stay at the waist for the first round, reverse lunge. So set your feet on your 2 separate tracks, outer hip distance apart. Stay on the right leg going back and forward 8 times. Try to get the full step back so that you're at about a 90-degree angle from hip to knee to the ankle on that front leg. When you have done 8 on the right side, you switch. Set the feet and then step left foot back and forward. Each time you step forward, think of it as an opportunity, like the top part of the squat, for a little extra glute squeeze. We'll add some arms to this for the second and third set. Right now, just the legs. And stay at the front of the mat. Lift both arms up. Can you imagine that the back of your hands are pressing to a wall? Bend at the elbows like you're sliding the hands down into this goddess pose. Squeeze the tips of the shoulder blades in. Try to get broader at the top. The scapular work. Straighten the arms, lift back up to the sky, and then just down to the front. Okay. So next set, pick up. I'm gonna go with the lighter set of weights that I have. And you're adding hands into the reverse lunge. So we're gonna set those arms first. They're doing exactly that, arms up to the sky. They're taking goddess arms. Squeeze tips of the shoulder blades in. Imagine the shoulders growing out towards the elbows. You're trying to keep that frame and add your reverse lunge. Step back and in. Same side. 8 steps back and in. 4, 5, 6. Get up high on top of that hip each time you step forward. And 8. Second leg. Make sure arms are still with you. If you feel them waning or want to take the weights down, do that. And then come right back to it. Anytime you need a break that I'm not taking, that is up to you.
I'll stay steady so you can join right back in when you're ready. Arms go straight, all the way down to the front. Try to control it. Set the weights down for a moment. Again, we're finishing each exercise today before we move on to the next, so you won't see us return to anything. Sometimes that's a nice mental boost, letting it all set to the side. Okay, let's get this last one in. So we're changing up the arms now into your half hammer curl. So we're not going all the way up to the shoulders, just to the line of the elbows with each time that you step back into your lunge. Step back, half hammer curl, and in. It's 2 and in. Keep most of your weight onto that standing front leg so that it propels you back and forth. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Nice way to work the front of the shoulders here. We go into the second side. Keeping the legs, total body moving with us. Good amount of core work and balance here as well. Pull that navel in towards the spine. Stay toned with the breath. 2 more. Nicely done. We're done with reverse lunges. Set the weights down. Keep going for that drink of water anytime. I'm gonna get mine. We're down on the mat next. So you can have a seat on your mat. Actually, I lied. You're gonna come belly down onto the mat. Let's do the prone exercises. Make sure you can see me first. So you're belly down, arms straight out in front. Now, when we do these in our yoga class, I would say Superman into goddess lift. Instead of the bend of the elbows and goddess lift, I want arms straight out to the side. So you can think Superman, airplane. All right, and we're going in between those two. Thumbs up to the sky the whole time. No weights. Here we are. Lift for Superman and down. Arms go out to the side. Think of them as 2 separate movements. Airplane wings and down. You come forward. So it's slow. You have that reset in between each position. Where are you lifting from? What are you lifting with? Give your body, mind, that opportunity to connect. Inhale, lift, and lower. Out to the side. Try exhale, lift, and lower. Find your rhythm. Keep going. You can try just the upper body lift, keeping legs down on the ground. See how that treats you differently. One more forward. Lots of movement, just forward and out to the side, and the shoulders already there. Then push back to child's pose. Friends, if you have a 1 or a 2 pound dumbbell or weight to hold on to, a soup can, something like that, and you want to put it in each hand, So a very small amount of extra resistance. You can add that in. I'm going to stick with hands only. Go back to prone belly. This time we're staying with Superman, so straight ahead, superhero, the entire time. A set of 10. Here we are. We're up and down. We're up and down. Squeeze, exhale, and lift all together. We've got this. Just a few more. For 8 and 9 and 10. Stay as you are or push back to child's pose in between. The third set will be the airplane wings only. All right, Bodhi, you're in the way. Go back, belly down, airplane wings. So arms are out to the side. You can be thumbs pointed towards the front short side of the mat here, palms staying down the whole time. Ready? Let's lift. So this is like that rear delt lift, really trying to keep the whole wingspan, no bend in the elbows now. Lift, squeeze, and lower. Keep going with your movement. That extra little squeeze right up at the top. Tips of the shoulder blades coming in. Rhomboids, traps, getting involved for us. Your lift for 3 and down, for 2 and down. Last one, lift and down. Push back, child's pose. Nice long reach this time in child's pose. And finally here, last thing with the weights. Flip over onto your seat. I lied and said we were done with those heavy weights at the very beginning. If you still have something heavier available, I'm going to use it into our glute bridge. I like to place the dumbbells like candlesticks, straight up and down on the anterior hip points, this front bony hip points, holding enough weight in the hands that that's not too intense on the hip point. Full glute bridge here. Press down into your feet, shoulders, hips, shoulders, head, and lift the hips up. Hold and squeeze at the top of the glute bridge, and then we are adding in little pulses. So you go just about a quarter of the way down, and then pulse right back up. Pulse here for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower it all the way down. Take just one full breath. Exhale. And then we're right back into glute bridge. Press down through the feet, shoulders, back of the head. Lift. And pulse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly lower it down. Again, one full breath in. Exhale. And last set, lift up, glute bridge. Hold. Add the pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower it down. Safely, weights off to the sides. Then stretch the arms overhead. Stretch the feet out long in front. This takes us right into a short ab or core circuit. Keep the arms stretched overhead, legs stretched long. One-legged V sit-up. So take the hands and one foot to touch as you lift. Shape of a V. Lower it all the way down. Switch to the other leg and down. Start to find a pace that works for you. Remember that full stretch each time you hit the ground. Last few minutes here of strong, steady work in our core circuit. Keep going. Single leg V-up. Switch legs each time. And you change to a regular old crunch. Soles of the feet on the ground. Hands behind your head as if your head is leaning back, not being pulled. You then add the lift and crunch of head and shoulders. So don't pull on the head. It's as though the head is pushing back into the hands the whole time. Not a full sit-up here. Just that upper half. Pick up your pace for the last 10 seconds of this crunch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Legs straight up in the air. Sit on your hands. Leg raises. They go all the way down, all the way up. Keep your feet, I say all the way down, but hovering above the ground. To make this more doable, one leg can go at a time. You be the choice. To make it more difficult, hands behind the head and add that crunch in the upper body with the leg raises. Though remember, things don't have to be hard to be effective. Sometimes as I'm training one-on-one, someone will say, well, this is hardly enough weight, hardly enough repetitions. It's not always about being hard. Find your way. Good movement. Feel smooth and good in the body. Hug your knees into the chest. Strong squeeze around here. Take the hands out into a T shape. Firmly rotated pose with the knees right over the line of the hips. We're taking that 90-degree bend. Hover over towards the right side and to your center. Hover to your left side and to the center. Back over to the right and center. Keep going. For the last one, side to side, if you want to go for the full straight leg variation, feet go towards the hands in a jackknife position of the legs. And then we sit on our hands again, legs about a foot off of the mat. Scissor the legs, one leg over the other, back and forth, back and forth. Again, head and neck can stay down, shoulders down, more doable. Gives you more awareness or concentration perhaps in that lower abdominal work. If you want the complex addition, head, shoulders off of the ground. And we're here. Beat the legs for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good news. Last thing. Full sit up. Can you take your hands to your head and just like barely brushing the head so that you're not using the hands to help you into that full sit up, full lie down. After a whole workout of upper body concentration, it's funny how those full sit-ups with the hands at the head get a little bit harder. But this really is the last big effort. Do 2 more for yourself. And then stay down onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest, quite well deserved. Hold just your right knee, extend the left leg. Open up on that left hip flexor. Sometimes the hip flexors really start to grab in those last moments of core work. Try to release. Switch sides, hold on to your left knee. Nice pull in, extend the right leg. Rock yourself up to a seated position. Stretch your legs straight out in front of you. Right foot comes in and cross over, add the twist. You might want to go for the elbow to the outside of the knee and keep exaggerating that work that was done today in upper back and shoulders. Nice. And then release out of the first side. Switch legs, left foot in and over. Add the twist. I usually start the twist with the hand around the front of the shin. And then as I notice the mobility, elbow to the outside of the knee, adding the extra bit in the upper body. On an inhale, come out of your twist, extend both legs out in front of you. Reach up and over for a seated forward fold. I'm frozen in the picture of my Zoom that I'm looking at. Perhaps you are not, but seated forward fold here. Fold over your legs, enjoy the stretch behind the hamstrings. If you're feeling it too much in the low back, bend your knees a little bit more so that you don't. Then come upright. Give yourself about 6 rounds of careful, steady breathing. Really intentional, so that you can take that intention of breath and work on the mat into the rest of your day. And then either wrap your arms in a hug or palms together to say full gratitude. All right, thanks for being in Triple B today, my friends. I will see you again soon.